You're watching College Football Now. I am Harrison Graham here from Chat Sports, and on today's show, we're going to break down one of the two college football playoff semifinal matchups. This one, the Fiesta Bowl, as both CFP games will take place on New Year's Eve, December 31st, 4 o'clock Eastern, out there in Glendale, Arizona, for the Fiesta Bowl. The number 2 Michigan Wolverines and the number 3 TCU Horned Frogs kicking it off for a spot in the national championship game. Now, let's just take a look at how each of these two teams got here, both having undefeated regular seasons, Michigan completing it in their conference title, TCU falling just short, but they were able to take care of business to start the year. Colorado, easy win. Tarleton as well. SMU on the road. Big win over Oklahoma, who was ranked at the time. Kansas ranked at the time as well when they won that game on the road. Oklahoma State, that one in double overtime. Kansas State, a 10-point win, who they would later lose to in the Big 12 championship game. At West Virginia, Texas Tech, at Texas, at Baylor, Iowa State at home, and then an overtime loss to Kansas State in the Big 12 championship game. So that was TCU's journey. Michigan's journey was as follows. Easy win over Colorado State in Hawaii, UConn as well, Maryland, kind of a tight game there at home that they were able to win, at Iowa by a couple of scores, at Indiana as well. One of their most notable wins against Penn State, 41-17. Took care of their rivals, Michigan State, 29-7. Easy win at Nebraska, win over Nebraska or at Rutgers, and then easy win against Nebraska at home. Tight win over Illinois at home that they wanted a game-winning kick. At Ohio State, obviously, their signature win, probably the most impressive win in college football this year, 45-23, and then handling Purdue in the Big Ten championship game. So Michigan 13-0, TCU 12-1. Who you got in this matchup? And then we'll start breaking down some of these key matchups, players, statistics, stuff like that. Type MICH for Michigan, type TCU for TCU. Who you got in this game coming up here in a few weeks. All right, let's take a look at TCU's overall statistics here. Total offense, number 16 in the country at 473 yards per game. Total defense, 74th. That number's been trending up, but a bit of a slow start to the year in that category. Scoring offense, 6th at over 40 points per game. Scoring defense, 57th, giving up just 25 points per game. Michigan statistics here, 27th in total offense at 453.5 yards. Total defense, 277. That's good for 3rd in the nation. Scoring offense, just one spot behind TCU, 40.1 points per game, number 7 in the country, and then a top 5 scoring defense as well. Offensively, some of the raw stats similar, might even slightly favor the Horned Frogs, but defensively a clear edge to Michigan. So you look at the raw stats overall, they definitely advantage the Wolverines, which is why they're a favorite. Excuse me, in this ball game. But I think a potential equalizer for TCU could be at quarterback. J.J. McCarthy playing a lot better, especially as of late, but Max Duggan, a 4-year starter, a Heisman finalist, completing 65% of his passes. He'll be in New York this weekend, 30 touchdowns against just 4 interceptions, 3,300 passing yards, rushed for 400 as well, rushed for 6 touchdowns also. J.J. McCarthy, not the raw stats, but he takes care of the football, just 3 interceptions. I think he might use his legs more come bowl season. I think once Caden McNamara got hurt, Michigan was hesitant to run McCarthy because if he were to get injured, they don't really have a true backup quarterback at this point in time. So could quarterback be the equalizer for TCU? It might be a position that they do have the advantage in this game. Certainly the experience factor does favor Max Duggan compared to J.J. McCarthy. Now, who is the better quarterback? Type MD for Duggan, type JJ for J.J. McCarthy. Who would you rock with? McCarthy certainly has the raw talent to become a great quarterback, and we've seen signs of that, especially against Ohio State and against Purdue these past couple of weeks. Once Blake Corum went down, he's had to do more, but Donovan Edwards has been great as well. MD for Duggan or JJ for JJ McCarthy. BetUS is the place to go bet on this matchup or any other game during the college football bowl season, as bowls will kick off very, very quickly here. Go to chatsports.com/bet. Use promo code CHAT125 to get a 125% deposit bonus when you sign up. Put down $100, give you $125 for free. Plenty of extra money to gamble on this bowl season. The betting odds for this matchup, Michigan currently favored by 7.5 points. This one's kind of been all over the place. It was up to, I think, 8.5 or 9 at one point. Now it's 7.5. Total over under 59 points. And I do think that's an interesting one because I keep telling people 30 is the magic number. If you can hold the opposing team to 30, you should be able to win that one. And quick math, if you score 30, hold them less than 30, 29. Vegas, they kind of know what they're doing. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code CHAT125 to get signed up with BetUS. Let's take a look at the running backs now. Kendre Miller for TCU rushed for 1,342 yards, 17 touchdowns. Rushed for at least one touchdown in every single game for TCU this year, all 13 of them, as he looks to extend that streak. Donovan Edwards taking over as the full-time back for Blake Corum. Now, he's been good all year, but he's taken off these last couple of games on the season, averaged 7.5 yards per carry, 872 yards and 7 touchdowns. Well, 400 of those yards have been the last 2 weeks as he's just been going off. Edwards against Ohio State, 22 carries, 216 yards and 2 touchdowns. Had a similar performance against Purdue, 25 carries, 185 yards and another touchdown. And he has seemed to get stronger as the game goes on. And while Blake Corum might have been, that veteran, more steady back, Donovan Edwards is definitely more explosive, and him and Kendre Miller are two absolute dogs in this game. I mean, I think a lot of the talk will be, this veteran Max Duggan, this young and up-and-comer J.J. McCarthy. Could come down to which team runs the football better, and both teams are able to do it with Donovan Edwards and Kendre Miller. So certainly going to be an exciting running back matchup as well in this one. Join the family here at Chat Sports as we have the latest college football news, rumors, CFP coverage, bowl games, coaching carousel, recruiting, and a whole lot more. Everything that comes around the college football season this time of year. We cover it all. So hit that sub button and turn on your notifications. Now, TCU has the best receiver in this game. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Quentin Johnston, a future first-round pick, who's been dealing with an ankle injury off and on for about 2 months now, so the time off should help him get healthy. 55 catches, 903 yards, and 5 touchdowns, averages 17 yards a catch, a projected first-round pick in 2023's NFL draft. So he's certainly going to be a player that the Wolverines have to key in on. TCU also has a couple of speedsters in Tay Barber and Darius Davis, 2 senior wide receivers that can make some plays as well. For Michigan, Ronnie Bell has kind of been that steady guy, 56 grabs, 754 yards, just 3 touchdowns, but he is certainly a player who is capable as well. Cornelius Johnson having a huge game against Ohio State a couple of weeks ago also. Keep an eye on this name as well. Tight end Colston Loveland has really come on as of late. The past couple of weeks, he has really become a factor in this Michigan offense, so that is a name to keep in mind when these two teams tee it up on New Year's Eve, I should say. Some defensive players to watch for TCU, 5 guys each here. Defensive lineman Dominic Williams, nose tackle, 320 pounds. He was 17 years old when the season started, just 18 now, a true freshman. Johnny Hodges, linebacker who transferred from Navy. He's been a great player for this defense. Actually was injured and did not play in the Big 12 title game, but he should be back for this game. Both corners, Travius Hodges-Tomlinson and Josh Newton, first-team All-Big 12. Hodges-Tomlinson, the nephew of LaDainian Tomlinson, they're two really, really good corners. So when J.J. McCarthy throws the football, he's going to have to pick his matchups there. Then Bud Clark leads the Horned Frogs in interceptions with 4, hovering the back end at safety. For Michigan, some players to watch defensively. Mozzie Smith, some more information has come out with his felony gun charge, so we'll see what happens there. I think he'll play, but that story is not going away. Mike Morris has been a solid player for this team. Junior Colston at linebacker as well. Will Johnson has probably emerged as the best corner for Michigan as he has just continued to get better and better. And then Mike Sanderstill, the converted receiver, kind of playing that nickel spot for Michigan, has been a really good player as well. Had some huge plays in that Ohio State game. Really a raw leader type guy for that defense and overall football team for the Wolverines also. Look, this should be a fun matchup. Kind of breaking it all down there for you guys. Michigan certainly a favorite in this one, but TCU can score, and something they have going for them as well is they've played in several close games this year. They're battle-tested. Playing this game will not overwhelm them, so it'll be very interesting to see what happens out there in Glendale for the Fiesta Bowl. Get your score predictions in. The Michigan Wolverines against the TCU Horned Frogs. Who you got, and what do you think the final score will be? We'll probably preview this matchup one more time as we get closer to the game, and I reserve the right to change my prediction here. If you ask me right now, I'd say Michigan wins 31-24, 31-27. I think TCU can cover the 7.5, and I think they could win this game, but I do think Michigan deserves the slight edge here. They got to the playoff last year. They're looking for more this year. TCU having this surprising season in the first year of their head coach, Sonny Dykes, who's probably going to win Coach of the Year. So Michigan wins close. That's my early prediction. Could change my mind as we get closer. Subscribe to the channel. Like I said, we'll have more coverage on this matchup, the other CFP matchup, and everything else surrounding college football this time of year, recruiting, transfer portal, and a lot more. So go ahead and subscribe today.